Brigitte Lindholm. For the YouTube comments, I really hope I'm saying that right. Brigitte is the youngest daughter of Torbjorn Lindholm and is a stubborn and righteous engineer, just like her father. While her father excelled at engineering weapons, Brigitte excelled at defense. She engineered and built her own armor while also being responsible for the armor and first aid of Reinhardt Wilhelm. Fun fact, Brigitte is Reinhardt's goddaughter and traveling companion. Realizing engineering alone couldn't protect her loved ones, she was trained by Reinhardt to become a fierce warrior. Brigitte was initially against Reinhardt returning to Overwatch, but he was determined to always answer the call. Even with her reservations, Brigitte went right along to support her mentor and remains by his side. Brigitte is an engineer turned valiant squire who fights on the front lines to protect her allies by providing healing, shields, and speed boosts. Jumping into try mode, let's take a look at Brigitte's abilities before we jump into the match. I'm going to start off with just covering our healing capabilities first. Our E ability is Repair Pack, and this will allow us to heal targets within 30 meters of us and in line of sight for a small amount of healing over time. As you can see, I'm barely able to keep up with the damage that these robots are taking from similar robots. This is not our only means of healing, but we have to layer our heals to keep targets alive. So understanding this one first could help you go a bit further in combat. It heals for 2 seconds, and it's going to provide 110 health over that time, so 55 per second. We're able to hold 3 charges of this ability, and those charges come back every 6 seconds. So right now, if I heal, it's going to be 6 seconds before I'm going to be able to heal again, because we don't have any other charges. We can layer on more healing to these targets with our passive Inspire, dealing damage to enemies, heals nearby allies. So if I just deal damage to that faraway target dummy without using our Repair Pack charges, you can see that I'm starting to radiate healing off of my character, and it's actually enough to keep up with the incoming damage if I don't miss without having to use my heal pack in this situation. And if I land all of this together, you can see we actually start to get ahead of the damage of this robot. I know the damage here is really low, but understanding layering with Brigitte will get you much further. Inspire itself provides 15 heals per second for a duration of 5 seconds anytime we deal damage. This can be done with our shift ability, our shield bash ability, or just our primary fire from the Flail. As we deal damage, it's just resetting the duration of Inspire. So we're not double dipping on extra healing or anything. It's just every time we make contact with an enemy, it's going to be resetting that duration back to the full 5 seconds. And the area itself is about 20 meters, so you can be very generous with your positioning. After even falling back to here, I'm still able to heal these allies. So speaking of our other abilities, let's go through them now. This is Rocket Flail. It has a 6-meter range, which is deceptively short, but if you impact your enemy, you're going to be dealing 35 damage per swing. We can swing the flail once every 0.6 seconds, so its attack speed is actually pretty respectable. However, there's no added headshot damage, so this is what you're going to be getting out of it. I would say aim for the center of mass, like I did with a few other characters, but you actually don't necessarily even need to do that. As you can see here, the flail doesn't just go to where your crosshair is pointed. It swings damage around to the side, allowing you in some instances to cleave damage to multiple targets with a single swing. Another similarity Brigitte has to Reinhardt is the barrier shield. We are able to absorb 250 damage to the shield before it breaks. You can see the health just above Brigitte, and as the shield takes more damage, more and more cracks start to form. Now, if I hold this shield out, it is never going to repair itself, but if I put it away, it's going to start to rapidly regenerate after just 2 seconds. So dipping in and out of fire is going to be the best way of keeping your shield active. Play around corners, play around cover, dip out, and get ready to deal damage. What was that charge forward? Well, that was shield bash. While holding right click, if you left click, you're actually gonna propel yourself forward, and the impact of this dash will actually deal 50 damage. Remember, our primary only does 35. But shield bash is not one-dimensional. You do not have to use it just to deal damage to enemies. You can actually use it to gap close. Whenever you use shield bash, it's going to propel your character 12 meters forward. This can allow us to get over pretty big spaces. It can allow us to get surprising engagements on high ground, and it can also be used to get yourself out of trouble. For instance, if we're taking too much fire here, the bot's aim, it's too good. We can just quickly get ourselves around line of sight and to greener pastures. Whip shot is our shift ability. This is on a 4-second cooldown. While normally the flail only reaches 6 meters, whip shot allows it to extend to a full 20 meters in front of Brigitte. Not only that, it's going to deal double the damage of our auto attacks. You see, it takes 2 autos to do the same amount of health there. We can use this to trigger Inspire, our healing effect, from a significantly safer range without getting into battle and getting overwhelmed. But it can also be used as an extremely effective knockback at range, pushing enemies to their death over terrain. One thing to point out is that our cooldowns have very short turnaround time. Our shield bash is just a 5-second duration. Keep in mind, you cannot shield bash if you let your barrier get destroyed, so keeping this thing alive is actually pretty important. But 5-second cooldown on shield bash, and then our whip shot is only a 4-second cooldown. So there is an actually pretty cool combo we can do very often. For instance, if I just use our flail to kill Tracer here, that's going to take 5 swings to take her down, right? That's a really long time. There's no world where a Tracer is going to stand still this long to let you hit her. We all agree on that, right? However, if we auto attack, shield bash, and then use our shift, you can see that combo is enough to deal 150 damage very quickly. That was the slow version. Here's the fast version. Yeah, that could turn the tide of battle. And remember, you're going to be radiating heals because you're dealing damage that entire time. Remember how I said layering was important with our healing? Well, we didn't go over all of the bonuses we can get. Our ultimate ability is Rally. This will provide overhealth to our allies every 0.5 seconds, allowing them to have an additional 100 HP. It's also going to give us a 30% speed buff to our movement, making our engage even more intimidating. And it's going to be giving this bonus to any ally within 8.5 meters of our character. So when she says rally to me, make sure you're running towards her. As you can see, the overhealing does last quite a while. It is 30 seconds. So even after your ultimate is over, which only lasts 10 seconds, potentially you could have significantly more HP for quite a while. This means in the right situation, you can have a heal over time with your E, a heal over time with Inspire, and a heal over time with Rally, all ticking away on your allies to keep them sustained on the battlefield. And that is incredibly strong. Bro, honestly, I've been sitting here in try mode for a while, just kind of doing this. It's just kind of really satisfying. One tip for the burst combo is you need to make sure that first flail actually lands, because you can animation cancel it. You see what I mean? Like I started the swing there and then it didn't complete. But my God, once you get the rhythm down, that's good stuff. All right, ladies and gentlemen, jumping into our match now, we find ourselves defending on King's Row. The friendly team so far is Sigma, Ash, Genji, Lucio, and Brigitte. I actually really like the Lucio Brigitte combo. He speed boosts me into fights, and that makes my gap close so much easier. He is also radiating healing, so if our team groups up this round, we should be in a pretty decent spot. That being said, Ash usually plays a little further away, but that's what our E ability is for at the end of the day, right? This place is looking very festive, as it seems like there's some snow in England right now. This is very pretty. I haven't seen the holiday version of this map just yet. All right. Fight starting in just over 10 seconds. We're going to hang back here with our tank. As the enemy team is approaching, we're going to try to poke with our shift ability to get healing radiating early, and hopefully I can land this first shot as they come around the bus. Genji and Ashe already playing forward, trying to keep this enemy back. If they take any damage, we do have heals over time for them. One going to Lucio. That's on me. We'll put shields up for that. Sigma doing a great job of protecting me there as well. Looks like Ashe has been taken down. We are radiating some healing, so I'm going to play a little aggressive as I only see the enemy team's tank right now, and I'm not seeing anyone else. Genji on the high ground isn't going to get any extra healing for me, but I can go in and deal quite a lot of damage to that enemy Mercy. Notice we almost took them down just with our burst damage there. If we landed the shift, that potentially could have been a kill on their support, which would have bought us a lot of time. She steps up again. We hit her with the full combo and take her down with the help of Lucio this time. Torbjorn turret in the very back is kind of problematic for me. I can't do too much about that. We shift forward and hit the enemy team's Baptiste. Remember, that's helping us with our heals here. Shield bash onto the tank as they run forward, and then I'm just gonna boop that Torbjorn back and then fall back with my healing as well. They have a sniper on the high ground now. I can't do too much about that. We do have bombs flying behind us, but Lucio with the bro shield is going to help keep our tank alive. 3 minutes and 40 seconds left in this game right now. I can't get heals on anyone around this corner, and I don't feel like I should be pushing up and spawn camping as we are starting to lose allies here. Fighting in front of the spawn may feel fun, but keep in mind our respawn is on the other side of the map, and the enemies respawn right here. So because we pushed up so far and our team is starting to crumble, this is actually a much harder defense to hold right here. Our shield is getting healed back up. Most enemy members are in this building on my left as far as I know, which means they might be flanking soon. Enemy team does have a Moira now. I don't have a heal for our Echo. There it is. Hit my shift there. That worked out. And there's the window, so we definitely want to line of sight that. Enemy team's Orissa's moving in with a lot of aggression here. I'm going to go ahead and rally as I am in danger of dying. Heals to our tank around this corner, and I thought I saw Moira. There she is. We're just going to try to pressure her back here while also throwing heals to our allies. I want to stay near Lucio because he's helping me be defensive as well, but that Torbjorn turret on the ground focused in on me and was a little too much. So far, we've done 4,000 healing, all on the first points with 1,338 damage, comparable to our DPS numbers so far. Looks like our team was wiped, and the enemy is in charge of that objective now. While I do want to move up and help, we also need to be mindful that me running into that point by myself isn't going to be super useful if our team isn't there to back us up. So I didn't make a big push there. We did our combo on that Moira to take her down. That felt really good. And I'll try to stand in front of Genji just to intercept a little bit of damage here. Orisa moving up. We can pressure her a little bit. We're never going to deal enough damage to kill an Orisa if she has any healing, but we can do enough damage to pressure her back, make sure we're healing our allies nearby. It's just refreshing our heal every time I hit her. So I'm going to take that free refresh every opportunity I can get. One thing I didn't expect when I was playing Brigitte is that Torbjorn is actually a really good counter. I mean, I guess it does make sense. He is our dad. He would know our weaknesses. But that little shotgun of his really does hurt up close. Friendly team does still have 3 strong on this corner, and it looks like our Lucio swapped over to Zenyatta. I sent double heal packs, triple heal packs to our tank because he is separated and on that corner. Remember, that's just increasing the duration of our heals, and that is it. I need to make sure I don't lose my shield here, play this corner as best we can, heal to our Zenyatta, heal to our Sigma, and I'm going to go ahead and just rally around this corner. I think we'll be fine. Hopefully our team moves up to help us. Enemy Baptiste threw down that immortality field to keep himself alive. Nicely done. Our Sigma did go in with an ultimate as well. I did our burst combo on Orisa. Her health is not moving. Let's make sure we're still throwing those healing packs forward. I tried to put a double on our tank there. Actually hit Genji twice. I don't hate that either. Torbjorn with the molten core could do a lot of damage. I couldn't get out of it in time. I did have my shield bash. I could have moved there. That could have been a little bit better. Stop it, Pop. Stop hitting me. Damage still looking good. Healing is great. We've also mitigated 2,439 damage. I need to also make sure I'm using our shield bash to actually get back up to the front lines a little bit faster. I think that was a great example of us getting an advantage and then pushing too hard with it. Just the same way our team did at the beginning with the spot and camping. It's like we had a good advantage on that wall, but then we over leveraged a little bit, I think. I am by myself, so we're just going to disengage from this, wait for our team to group up. Our tracer is clear on the other side of the map, and she just died, so our deaths are pretty split right now. The enemy team could very easily push this objective all the way up to the next point. But then, of course, if they do that, the inverse of the beginning starts to be true, where we're closer to our respawn, and it becomes significantly easier to defend. Genji did just get healed with a health pack. I'm going to help out our Zenyatta, too. They're thinking about coming around the corner. I just wanted to get my Inspire healing going. But we have this Zenyatta, so I guess I should actually play pretty aggressive here. Baptiste falling on me. I don't know if he has Immortality Field or not, and I'm actually starting to take a lot of damage. That's our Sigma ult, and it does land pretty well. I'm in the Orisa ult right now. Let's fall back. There is a health pack there if I need it, but I don't think I do. I'm going to save it for allies just in case. Genji is on the pursuit, but backing out as Ashe was proving a little too strong. The enemy team pushing our team down into the tube. Hopefully we can keep them alive, and it looks like everything's okay. So we managed to defend 1 minute 35 seconds left on this point, and we have our rally good to go again. Let's just get back to our team. Just fall back. They're going to be coming around that corner. I should probably just be where our tank is, to be honest. We'll kind of shadow him here. Is someone actually coming down that hallway? I don't see anyone. Genji taking a lot of damage there. I think it was from Ashe's shot. Our other support is swapped over to Moira, so if she's with the tank, I can be over here. Enemy Torbjorn behind me. I tried to ping it. I don't know if it worked. I'm just going to rally and push in here. He's isolated, so we can deal a lot of damage to him, hopefully pretty rapidly. He popped his own defenses to try to counter us. That rally giving me overshields. Like I said, Torbjorn has been way more of a counter to me than I ever thought possible. Wasn't able to keep our Sigma alive there. Probably going to die to the Orisa here as well as a result. But if I just keep moving, keep shield bashing, we might be okay. Breaking line of sight as that enemy Kiriko ult was coming around the corner. Heals on our tracer as we're pushing forward. I see an Ashe, and I can combo her pretty well. There's the whip shot for the kill as we wipe them off the point. Enemy Torbjorn back in the middle of the street, popping his armor, but we have so many DPS here that it's fine. Now we should push up. Now we should be aggressive. If we can spawn camp in the last 20 seconds, that means we might be able to just straight up win this game. If I can make them shoot me instead of pushing forward, that is an advantage. 8 seconds remaining in this match. Is it going to be enough? We're seeing Bob run forward. His damage can be devastating, but no bodies on the point means that we win the game. Oh, stressful. Hey, no way! What did I do? What did I do? Okay, this is when Orisa was pushing up. I rallied for this, so we're just in here swinging. It must have been a decent amount of healing to our allies because that was one of the lamest play of the games I've ever seen. Remember, if you guys enjoyed today's video, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you like the format because we're going through the entire Overwatch 2 roster. Thank you guys for being here, and I'll see you again very soon.